Good morning, Friday the 17th of April. Good morning everyone. What a gorgeous morning. Again, another absolutely glorious day. And you see that duck? I don't know if you can see it, hold on, I'll see if I can increase my screen. I can't. Little duck perched on the... There's a little duck perched on the top of the waterfall there. What a great view it's got. Good morning everyone. Hi Mr. Lithgow, how are you? How's Lanark? How is it at the top of the hill? Look at this. Isn't it absolutely stunning? Look at that lagoon. It's like something out of a movie. Isn't it? It's beautiful. The sun coming up through there. Picturesque. Oh man. So pretty. Okay. There's a wee man, Rob. What are you doing? Ralph. Right, let's get this show on the road. Let me get back up here. Good morning. Friday the 17th of April. And I woke up this morning and I just hit a wall. I completely hit a wall. Look how sweaty I am. Good God, that's attractive. Morning, Linda. So Friday the 17th of April 2020, and got no idea what vlog number this is. I'm in it now, I'm doing it. So I woke up this morning and I completely hit a wall. I was dragging my heels. I do not have the energy to run round Courthouse this morning. So I made myself a cup of tea, checked a couple of emails, and was just procrastinating and putting it off and putting it off. And I thought, right, well, don't set yourself such a big goal and don't run it, just go walk it. And then in my mind, I was watching my mind making all kinds of excuses about, well, that's going to take another extra amount of time, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I got myself together. And not just like this morning, I actually felt I have got absolutely nothing to talk about. I have ran out, I have diluted my brain of any information. Morning, Linda. Oh God, here's this guy with this dog. Good morning, how are you? Gorgeous day, isn't it, again?
It is when it warms up a bit, isn't it?
It's gorgeous, we're very lucky. Right, have a good day. So, right, we've passed all the distractions. Here we go. So, woke up, felt as if I'd hit a wall. There's no way I can run round Courthouse this morning. I've got nothing to talk about, I've got nothing to say. I got myself together, got my gear on, and as I'm making my way down to the back end of the waterfall, nothing was coming. Absolutely nothing was coming. And I started getting a bit anxious. I'm thinking, goodness, I don't know what to talk about. And then the nerves came. And I got to the waterfall. And I looked at my watch. And I'd actually done it 10 minutes faster. 10 minutes. I got here 10 minutes quicker than I have all week. So from somebody that got up and didn't have any energy to actually just facing into it and getting it done, I made up 10 minutes on my run this morning. So that gave me a huge hit of dopamine. I managed to sit down even for 5 minutes before I went live and collected myself, and it was in the last 5 minutes I thought, what can I talk about? And I've titled this morning, Fear of Change and Life is a Verb. Life is a verb, life is a doing word, life is an action. And if you're not doing, you're dying. It's not necessarily to do from a place of busyness or a place of fear even. It's to do from a place of connection. So in this 5 minutes, this is where I come up with this wee vlog this morning. Fear of change. Why does it exist? Why does fear of change exist? Now, we've went through a number of weeks of talking about it and looking at the science and looking at how we're going to fight, flight or freeze. How fear is a very positive thing set up for a revolution. But with the levels of stress that we've all got because of the system that we inhabit, mortgages, bills, rent, car payments, getting to work, being at work, not wanting to be at work, hating your job, hating the people that are there, but you've got to go in and be nice to them because it's socially acceptable to do so, when really all you want to do is throw your cup of coffee on them at best and burn their lap secretly. Oops, didn't mean that. So, fear of change. Why does it exist? It exists because we allow it. It exists because we are addicted to it. We are addicted to our programs. We are addicted to the stories that we tell ourselves. Everybody can make one small change. Everybody can do something. Everybody can step in to the energy of a verb, whatever that might be. And from small seeds grow big acorns. Now, seeds. You have a seed, you've got it in your hand, you keep it in your pocket, you carry it about with you. You walk around with a seed in your pocket. Doesn't sprout a tree. And you don't actually know what that seed is. You don't know whether it's a rhododendron bush. You don't know whether it's a pine tree, an acorn tree. You don't know what it is, but you carry it about with you. And it doesn't grow. And you think that that's a failure. You think that that's a dud. No, that seed's a failure. That seed's a dud. But unless you take that seed and actually do something with it, a verb, and you give it the correct environment for growth, i.e. planting it in soil, i.e. germinating it first. And when you're germinating that seed, if you've ever done that, 2 little bits of tissue paper and make it damp, put it in a dark room, etc., etc. And once it splits its little shell, this tiny little seed, and then we plant it and we give it the right conditions and we give it love and we talk to it and we treat it with kindness and we actually have an intention. We pour our intent for it to grow. Only then will we see the rewards of that. Now that seed has an intelligence in it. A tiny, tiny little seed has got an intelligence that it knows what it has to do. We're just like that. We're just all these little seeds waiting to be planted, waiting for the right conditions. Think back. Everyone had a favourite teacher. What was it about that teacher that allowed you to say they were your favourite? Morning, Francis. What was it about that school teacher, that boss, that employer, that minister, that whoever it was, that ignited that intelligence in you and that allowed you to grow? Because that teacher provided the right environment for you. Like the seed, the tiny little thing that if you keep it in your pocket, it does nothing with it. And you think it's a dud. Until you put the intention towards it to germinate it, plant it and watch it grow and allow that intelligence to actually come through and burst. So as long as we're walking about trapped in fear, I just want to show you this, those that are watching. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? And that's the Clyde just at the side of it. I think Carella's watching. Still get morning Carella. Yes, getting distracted, but not saying I've got ADHD. Fear of change. Why is it there? Because we allow it. We allow it and we're addicted to it. We are a seed that's in the pocket and we're terrified. We're terrified. But we've also not been given the correct environment for growth. But we have an intelligence inside us, an innate understanding that is connected to the great intelligence, the bigger fabric of the world, that's just waiting to be aligned. Because that existential environment, that existential intelligence, it wants to work with us. It wants the seed not to be carried around in somebody's pocket. That intelligence has a symbiotic relationship with us. That intelligence wants, and it also needs for its growth, for you to grow. It doesn't want it to stay stuck in somebody's pocket. It doesn't want it not to be seen. It doesn't want it not to be heard. It will also thrive when you start to thrive. So let's start looking at where we're a seed and we're in our pocket and we've just not had the right conditions. We've just not had the right space. We've not put ourselves in the right environment. There's a beautiful passage in the Bible. I don't know what psalm it is, but it says, walk with the wise, become wise. Walk with the foolish, beware. Morning, Nadia. Walk with the wise, become wise, and walk with the foolish, beware. Now what we're talking about is a seed. We're all a little seed. We're all waiting to get planted. We're all looking for the right environment, right? So if your environment is full of pals that all gas and bitch and talk about other folk. I said to somebody recently, you're running about with a load of thieves right now. Aye, that's right. I says, well, don't be surprised when they steal off of you. And they looked at me and went, never thought of that. So if you're living in an environment where you're running around with people that run people down, that are racist, that are frivolous, that are careless, that are full of pride and ego, is that an environment that you want that seed of intelligence within you to be sparked for the correct growth? Are the people that you are having in your environment caring, compassionate and understanding? Now, if you're running about, I'm going to make some changes. Actually, I'm making some changes right now. There's a person that's in my environment that now I have been told numerous times by somebody else that he's had a little bit of a bitch about me. He's super two-faced. And I'm just starting to see bits about his personality that, you know what, you couldn't even look at me in the eye the last time I spoke to you. It's over. Right? I'm taking back my throne. That's not an environment, because you're only having me in your environment in order for your growth. You want the limelight. And that's not going to work for me any longer. Now, do I get angry about that? Do I make them see the wrongs of their way? Absolutely not. I don't have the energy for that. Just let it go. So, here we are talking about life as a verb. Fear of change. Why is it there? It's there because we allow it, and it's there because we're addicted to it. As soon as we can start to take personal accountability in step one of the 12-step process, which is, I have accepted I am powerless over my addiction. Now, you may not be drinking or using drugs or sex or gambling, but what I'm suggesting is that we start to look at where we have become habitualised in negative self-talk, self-criticism, the shadows, the fear, the lack of resilience, the ability to get up and start a new approach, a new process, going to the gym, going walks, eating healthy, but fail at the first or second hurdle because you allow it. I don't allow alcohol in my life. I don't allow it. I eat sugar. I nearly swore there. I eat sugar. And that's my downfall. So why? Because I allow it. I go to the cupboard, I see a packet of biscuits, I open it, I eat it, I allow it. I don't allow alcohol. I don't allow drugs. I don't allow cigarettes. I don't allow people to smoke in my car. I was talking to somebody about that the other day. They're a client actually. We were having a conversation and I related a story to her about what I used to do in order to be liked, loved and accepted. I thought so little about myself and was so needy for friendship, love or acceptance that I would let people come into my car and smoke in my car, even on occasions allow people to smoke dope in my car, and they would get bombers. If you don't know what that bomber is, it's like really poor quality marijuana that people smoke and it drops off and goes onto your seat. And your car that you're out working for all week to pay the money to put the fuel in it, not even taking any petrol money off them because I was so codependent and so worthless that I would let them do that in my car, and then I'd go out the next day and I'd have to hoover up their mess, throw away all their chip pipers and all the rest of it, and see a big huge hole in it. And what did I feel when I saw that hole? What did I feel when I saw that bomber? I felt pain. Because there was a period in my life where the only thing I could feel was pain. Why? Because I was allowing it. Why fear of change? Why is it there? Because we're allowing it. But we've got to put some components in the right order before we can really have the correct environment for growth. And the correct environment for growth, as I'm suggesting. Morning, Pamela Wallace. Hiya. Nice to see you, Pamela. Can't believe I went to school with you. Bizarre. Right. Now, the hardest thing about the current position that we're in before we take the next step, because what I'm starting to look to do now is, as I start to move forward, we've been indulging ourselves in, cuddling ourselves up in the fear of change model, but we've not actually started to look at any ways to get out of it. So I think I've kind of drummed it in enough that fear of change is pretty real. Most of us experiencing it, even whatever level you're at. It's like, oh, they can't have any worries, they're rich. Really? Rich people have worries. They just get bigger credit card debts. They've just got bigger staff wages to pay. Everybody has problems. Nobody's devoid of them, right? So what I'm going to start to do is I'm going to start to implement, probably from about Monday, ways of addressing and looking at to get out of it. My suggestion is the first place to start, or a place to end the talks about fear of change, is here. Look at your environment. First thing you need to change is your environment. Triggers. The majority of the work I've done, as you know, is around addiction. I worked or was shipped into work in a rehab in the States that was pretty high end. And when I say high end, I don't mean it was a Betty Ford clinic and it was expensive. What I mean was it was high end as in the approaches they were taking. It wasn't just your basic 12 steps. It was looking at neuroscience, neurofeedback. It was looking at systemic and intergenerational trauma and addiction. It was looking at, wow. And one of the things that we did was the clients, when they came into the residential rehab, they signed that if they were actually wanting sobriety and change, what they did was they signed that they would move. They would move for a number. It was like, if you lived in New York, you'd move to LA. If you lived in LA, because somebody that's in recovery, and you know what? See, even if you've not got an association to addiction around it, it's exactly the same thing. Somebody that's in the clutches of addiction, they've got a favourite chair. Even if you've not got an addiction challenge, you've got a favourite chair. There's a chair that you always sit on in your living room. Now, if that's the chair that you sat and you snorted gear on, or that's the chair that you sat and smoked crack on, or injected heroin, or drank alcohol, or whatever, and you've been in a clinic for 6 weeks or 6 months, and you get let out of the clinic and you're all sober and you're feeling great, and you walk into your apartment and you see that chair, what's the very first thing you think of? Boom. Lights up a program in your brain when you were using. Now, does that program assist your recovery or want to pull you back into it? There's hundreds and hundreds of triggers in your house. There's hundreds of triggers in your environment. So if you want change, first thing I suggest that we look at, which we have been, is, okay, maybe I'm addicted, maybe I'm habitualised to this set of behaviours, patterns and programmes, All right, I'm digging what he's saying, I'm picking up what he's putting down, I'm ready to put some action into place. Next thing is looking at your environment. Are you running around with people that talk about other people behind their backs and then nice as pie to them when they see them? Yeah, that doesn't install trust. That installs fear. So then what we do in a kind of perverse way is we start to get closer to the gossip. We start to get closer to that negative Nelly. Because in a roundabout way, we think if we're close and we start giving to that person, they're not going to talk about me. Wrong answer. Get rid of the gossips. Get rid of the gossips out your life. If somebody's not got a nice thing to say about you to somebody else, if somebody's not got a nice thing to say about somebody to you, you can be rest assured they're going to be saying that about you to somebody else. So what we're doing is we're looking at life as a verb. It means it's doing. It's like a seed. You have a seed in your pocket and you carry it about in your pocket for years, it'll never grow to anything. It has got an innate intelligence inside it that it knows what to do. Okay? But until we give it the right environment, which is planting it in soil, but firstly germinating it and giving it intention, you know. And what do they say about somebody that's got green fingers? Why is their fingers so good at being gardening? Because they pour their love into it. Right? People that pour their love, which is an intention, into their product is a better product. You must agree with that. So, you're the seed. I'm the seed. I'm the seed of change. Okay? And yeah, there's a lot of fear in there. Right? So, accept that you've become habitualised and addicted to the levels of fear and cortisol that you've been running. You can do something about that and start to get yourself into the correct environment for growth. Now, I don't know what that is for you. I only know what that is for me. And I would rather not have any pals at all than have pals that just are jealous of me, that talk about me behind my back, and that haven't got my best interests at heart. Right? Walking in nature, trees. I love trees. I love being around them. I actually crave it. Being around people that have got, you know, people that are destructive in their behaviours, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't support my growth. So these are my suggestions. From about Monday, I'm going to start looking at a kind of coaching programme, a model that I use with my clients, and I'm going to start delivering that each day for those of these that are looking to do a bit of work around about the change now, and have a blessed Friday. Have a great day, whatever it is that you're doing. Thank you very much for listening to my rambles, and I hope some of it's made sense and you can use it for your growth, because the world needs more people that are growing rather than wilting, because the environment that we inhabit, I am almost sure of it, that electromagnetic field of intelligence requires you to be stood in your power, in your intelligence, because then that's reflected back to it and it allows it to expand. If our levels of consciousness continue to deplete and wilt, I could say something very negative for our species, but I won't, because I'm an optimist and I believe that we have got the power to raise the vibrational change in consciousness by doing the things that we love and what we're passionate about, and not giving a hoot what other people think of us. And we get out and we start to live our truth and lead from the heart. God bless. Lots of love. Have a great day and a blessed weekend. I really mean that. All the best to you.